I'm here with Pat Phelan from Ermin Lodge this morning. And Pat, we're just going to ask you a couple of questions for the Racing and Welfare Virtual Trainers Day. One of the first questions is, how did you actually get into horse racing? What actually started it all?
Well, I was born into a national hunt stud in the south of Ireland. My father has stood stallions for the half-bred industry and the national hunt industry in the main. And I did a bit of show jumping in my youth. Joined the military, show jumped for them for a while. And then as an army officer in Ireland, I trained point-to-pointers in parallel with my military career. And it just evolved from there. I bought and sold to maintain a lifestyle to which I've become accustomed. And I've ended up here in Epsom through various channels along the way. I had 9 years in Japan doing this job as well. I managed Highclere Stud for almost 2 years before I came here, and I came here in summer of 2006, and I've been here since.
Wow, that's amazing. A long time in Epsom.
Well, it is, yeah, it is. I mean, I'm still probably, relative to others, I'm still a new kid on the block, but notwithstanding that, it's a place I've really settled down, and it's a great place to train from a professional point of view, but it's also a lovely place to live.
Fantastic. And could you tell us a little bit about a normal day for you? What would that involve?
Well, at the moment, because of COVID, we haven't that many runners, so it's pretty routine. Feed at 5:15. We try and space our feed times exactly in routine. They're fed at 5:15 in the morning, they're fed at 12:15, and they're fed at 5:15 in the evening. So that picture frames the day for us around those three activities. All the training is done from 6:30 when the staff come in, depending on how many lots and how many staff we have. We're finished by 12 or 12:30 as the case may be. And then in the afternoons, everybody gets a break, midday break, and in the afternoons we're back from 3:30 to 5:30. Now, that can be punctuated by racing or whatever else might be going on.
It's a full day then, full non-stop
Yes,
day.
It is, but that's what's required. I mean, horses like routine, and we try to keep it the routine to exactly the same one day after another as far as possible.
That's great. And I mean, what is it that you love most about this job, about the role, about what you do here? What do you love most about it?
Look, I've been inoculated with the equine needle, so I'm working with animals that I enjoy working with, and I always have. And I mean, it's not the most financially productive game to be in, but notwithstanding that, from a mental health point of view, it's a lovely game to be in. So that's part of it. I deal with, I have a nice staff, they're all good people. And most importantly, I've got a boss that I met in 2006, and we've become very good friends. And we've had our ups and downs with horses, and that he's a great man to give bad news to, and that's really the hallmark of somebody whose company you can enjoy. And they have opened every door possible for me to make a success of what we do here. We race at a certain level, but at the same time we've enjoyed it, and we've had a couple of nice horses over the years, and neither of us have ever said to each other, "I told you so." So that's part of why I enjoy the game here.
That's great. And I mean, what are the benefits of training here in Epsom that you see?
Well, certainly I would have difficulty going to a big training centre, because I think the way I try to train in a more relaxed role, it's very easy to do here in Epsom. Whereas if you go to Newmarket, you have to wait at the bottom of gallops, or you take your slot. If you miss your slot by a minute, well, then you're in trouble. And whereas here, so horses seldom meet each other on gallops going to or from, and if they do, it's only occasional. And there's plenty of room for everybody. And in fact, there's probably room for a lot more in Epsom.
Excellent. And so, what would you say has been the best horse you've trained over your time here?
Look, it's difficult to put a finger on it. Most successful one, I suppose, is a nearly horse that I had called Ermin Lodge, and he was nearly a Royal Ascot winner for me. In the Ascot Stakes, he was second in that. He was nearly a Cesarewitch winner. He was second in that. He won a lot of races for us, but a short head in 2 races would have made him by a distance the best horse we'd ever trained. We did train a very good horse for Alan Pope called Jakey, and he was probably also he was a difficult horse to train because he had soundness issues, and he was difficult keeping him sound, but he was still a big winner for us. And we were probably in hard luck with a filly called Leigh Freya, who won a lot of races for us, and she actually broke a bone at the Cesarewitch. What is it now? 4 years ago. And she had to be put down, and she was only a little rabbit, but she'd won twice at Epsom for us, and she'd won a lot of important races for us, and there was a lot more to come from her. But I enjoyed training her because she was for a good friend of mine called Eddie Gleeson, who is back in Ireland now. And but they would be just a few, and it's difficult to say, you know, a lot of them were kind of unfinished business that never got to see their full potential.
Okay. And can you give us a horse that we might be able to follow for the rest of the season?
I've got the filly that won. She won twice for us last year, called Epsom Faithful, and she just hasn't had things go her way this year. And with COVID, we haven't run her that much because the syndicate would really want to go racing, and we just have to make a decision now where we go with her. She's rated 74 at the moment, and I think she can handle that, and she'd be a one that we would like to see the success with going forward. The filly that you just saw a few moments ago, called Star of Epsom, is having her first run tomorrow. She's a nice filly going forward. And we've got a homebred out of Ruthie, who's unnamed yet, and he is by Lethal Force. And he is a half-brother to Del Boy and Rodney the Trotter, who are two good horses that we had in the past. And he's a nice horse going forward.
Okay. Are there any up-and-coming jockeys that you think we should be following?
I think the standard of riding in the UK at the moment is very, very high. We have, I use 2, maybe 3 jockeys here. Paddy Bradley is our apprentice, and Paddy has had some weight issues, which he has back under control now, and hopefully we can look forward to him having a bit more success. Charlie Bennett is a guy that we've used to very good effect here, and there's a lot of good young apprentices out there, but it's a difficult game, and particularly with COVID, fellas not getting the rides they feel they should, still trying to do a lightweight. It takes a strong personality to succeed.
And if you could have trained any horse, past or present, who would it be?
Oh, Enable.
Enable.
Yes.
Okay.
She's the star, I think. Yeah.
Okay. And what are your training ambitions going forward?
Look, I'm at the stage of the business, and I'm at the end of it, where I'm kind of have to be looking at not mad distant ambitions into the future, but there's a couple of nice young horses here that I feel we have a lot of potential for probably next year. 2-year-olds, that 2-year-old filly you saw, the Ruthie Colt. I have another gelding out of homebred out of Miami, and there are a lot of nice horses going forward. So I look forward to training them.
Okay. And which race would you most like to win?
It's second in the Cesarewitch twice.
Okay. That's great. Any other questions or point of views? Are all the questions done? So
No, not really. It's just that Racing Welfare are great to put on this show. They have. We've been in receipt of their organisation and generosity on several occasions for our staff. Most recently, we had a member of staff who broke his knee, got quite a serious accident, and they've moved hell and high water to get the best of facilities available to help him with his recovery, and that will include going to Jackberry House or to wherever one of their rehab centres when he's ready for it. They have helped sponsor a physio for him, a personal physio, and that's what Racing Welfare should do for the people in racing, and it's great to see them do it, and I'm forever grateful for their assistance in this and many other matters in the past.
That's great, and it's wonderful to spend time here again with you at Ermine Lodge, Pat. So thank you very, very much for your time, and we'll let you get on with your day.
And Stephen, thank you for your input into this, because it wouldn't have happened unless you had the drive to go out and get it done. So thank you.
Very welcome. Thank you.